Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the last episode. It's been a little bit of a challenging journey. This is the last episode. Um, More than likely, I'm going to be coming back. This was just to give you a backstory, and just in case you missed it, I've been speaking about my experiences. If you want to know if this will be worth your time to listen, if you're black, if you ever had colorism issues, especially females, if you've ever been a parent, a single parent, it's some of what I've been through, and I'm just here to share it with you. I believe it could inspire somebody, show somebody, give somebody a wake up call, something. But this is the last episode, and if you've been following me, usually, and I try to leave you with a little, a little tidbit, a little point. And this episode is kind of a bit of a continuation, and it's kind of me expressing as to why I decided to do my YouTube channel, and in a personal capacity. Because let's be honest, you could create a YouTube channel, you could do hairstyles, makeup tutorials, you could basically do anything. But when it's of a personal nature, then it is a bit more invasive, it's a bit personal, and you have to be willing to know what my business is going to be out there. The Queen of England could see it. The Prime Minister of Grenada could watch it. My boss could watch it. My Prime Minister could watch it. We have no queens in my country. But, Diddy could watch it. Rihanna could watch it. So you have to be. It's been a challenge, but I'm here. So today, what I'm going to speak about. Let me start by saying one of the reasons I decided to open my YouTube channel. Please excuse the little noise. The rain is falling really heavy, and I needed to videotape this in this time span. I can't wait. So the reason I decided to do this is that, as you all know, through the last 5 episodes, I've been through a lot of traumatic experiences, and the last one, which was the straw that broke the camel's back, I finally broke, because I know there's a lot of memes going on, you fall down but just don't break. Unfortunately, I broke. I was in a really bad place. I was in a really dark space, and as this last episode here is really to encourage somebody who's ever been through this, as I say, most likely to go more to like single moms, maybe even single dads, because males could experience emotions just as females could. And me with my battle with colorism among the black community, and favoring lighter better and stuff like that. So the last one that encouraged me to do my YouTube channel was that I was in a relationship, and I got very attached. My son got very attached. The relationship came to an end, and I was literally in a mess. I refused to eat. I couldn't sleep. I had to be taking medications to sleep. I was just out of it. I remember telling my sister, my brother-in-law, they came. I was like, listen, I don't mind going Ward 1. If you're familiar with Trinidad and you're familiar with South, Ward 1 is the mad people. They just call it mad people ward. But mentally incapacitated a little bit. Don't want to call them mad, but they are not quite sane. I was like, yeah, and they had called the ambulance and stuff, and they was like, you sure? If she go there, it's hard to come out, you can't talk to her. And long story short, I didn't go again, but I just wanted to sleep. The pain I was experiencing from this breakup, I just wanted it to be over with. I literally had to go by my mom for a couple of days. I lost like a pound a day. I remember every time I went up on the scale, it was like one less for like close to 2 weeks. So that was like close to 14 pounds I lost. And my mom would intentionally try to cook food I really like. So like bringing pizza home and making roti. If you're Trinidadian, or even if you're Caribbean, paratha roti with pumpkin and char and potato and chicken and stuff, that is a hit. My mom even tried. She was like literally begging me to eat. And it was a dark spot, and it's especially dark when you have a child. And oof, thunder. And I kind of disappointed myself in that respect, that I should have been stronger for him. But based on my last videos, as you all would have seen, I have quite been through it, from being a single parent, dealing with colorism, growing up feeling inadequate from since I'm small, no fault. People, well, especially my mom, tried to be like, you're my special girl, you're gorgeous, you're the most gorgeous of my daughters, and always try to get me up. But feeling inadequate since I'm small, I jump into, from growing up in a sheltered home, in a sense, not much experience with talking about sex and stuff like that, to having to deal with sexual assault, taking the antiviral medication for the month, then not really getting involved with the police officer because nothing really happened. We were just really close. We spoke for like 4 hours plus, just in the morning time. Sometimes we whole day might be talking for 8 hours. Once we get a chance, we would talk a lot. I'm a cool person. I listen. I talk a lot too. And having to go through all that. And that didn't end anywhere. And as I said, I wouldn't mention names because this blog is not to make out people, or as people might say, to, I don't know if that'll count as clout or to show up anybody. This is just a personal journey. And if it could inspire somebody, my job would have been done. So I've been through a lot. So I finally broke with this breakup. And the thing is, with my son being a boy, he had challenges, and I had challenges growing him up. Well, he's 6, growing him up since he was about 1 as a single parent. And I had to have him tested because he was like overly thin. If he had ADHD, they said he's too young to figure out if he had ADHD. I got him tested for autism. They say he tests way too low on the autism spectrum to qualify as autism. I've been through it with him. And this last boyfriend of mine, he just gravitated to, I allowed him into my life, into my space, to the point that he could have disciplined my son as well. And it got that deep. So literally you would think, okay, there's literally no way out of this except marriage. It can't end because we get along, we happy, we understanding, we're going to get through this. So let me just give you a little bit of backstory too. This last person, as I said, I'm not trying to make out anybody, so I'm not going to say his name, but let's call him John Doe. JD, right? JD, John Doe. So there's another information I'll have to talk about for you all to understand the story. Now, JD is a firefighter. And because of this, my son was in awe, because my son loved vehicles. He loved the fire truck. I was like, you're a firefighter? I was like, yeah. I was like, you fight the fires? And he was like, yeah. So sometimes even when we video calling in the night and stuff, he'll go down to by the yard, and if the truck's coming in, or if the ambulance. And my son would see it, and this would excite him, and he had this level of love and care and appreciation and respect and awe for him. And me equally. He was a good man to me. For the most part, he was. We're all humans. And if anybody knew both of us separately as individuals, anybody would have expected that it would have ended a marriage, because I'm a good person. I try to be a good person. He's a good person. He tries to be a good person. One of our biggest downfall was our methods about doing stuff. So he's a quiet person and believes stuff would work itself out, and I like to talk and reason it out. Note well, this is not quarreling. This is talking. Like, why are you upset? Because of his life experiences, he learned to bottle up stuff a lot, which isn't healthy. I was like, we're not fighting. Even if you want to write it down, let's do something that's going to sort this out. If we can't sort it out, we'll find a way to deal with it or move on with it. Now, this is what, and usually when things ended up like that, he kind of felt attacked, and that is where the issue would arise. So we're two different people, essentially, but we were in love. So eventually after getting so much high up and stuff, because when it seemed like we were breaking up, I couldn't take it. I honestly couldn't take it. I've been through too much. This was my piece of happiness and nobody taking it away from me. But ultimately we had to, and we say we weren't together, but we were still moving as a couple. He'll still stay by me, because if you know Trinidad good, if you live in any city, more than likely you live close to the fire station. Even when I was living in Deep South, when my son was younger, the fire station was right there. Right. So most fire stations are close to the city. So he works virtually right there. He could have walked to work from my apartment, which he did almost every day. And around that time COVID started, we were home a lot, so we got to spend a lot of time together and other stuff. So ultimately what ended up happening was that we grew really close. He started to reveal stuff to me that usually he wouldn't reveal to people. Same with me. And eventually what started to happen, he used to be like, I don't know why you're so sad. We could still end up back together because you didn't do me anything. I didn't do you anything. We just need to learn ourselves more and learn to work on our communication before we get back to each other, if we have to get back to each other. So fast forward down the lines now. What started to happen is that because I spoke freely to guys after, nothing happened. Once he was around, I still only wanted to have relations with him and stuff like that. So it was still basically him, but I'll still talk to guys. So this is where the interesting part come out. So apparently, I remember, like, if I'll talk to a guy a certain way, he'll be a certain way in the evening. A couple months down the line, I get to realize that he has my phone clone.